back with more Buffy. This is episode 22 of season 6, season finale. It's crazy to think that the next season finale I'll be watching for Buffy is also the series finale. Like, it's the last time I get to be like, well, there's always next season. Crazy. But yeah, here we are. It's been quite the season. We've had a lot going down. Really excited to see how they're going to wrap it up and set up the final season. Kind of scared because we do have Dark Willow, as she has been coined. And yeah, hopefully it won't take killing her to stop her, because then I will just lose it and nothing will ever be good again. But speaking of good again, Giles is back, and that was amazing. I loved the last episode so much. The ending was awesome. What a badass entrance. I can't wait to see what role he's going to play in things, and hopefully he can sort Willow out, maybe calm her down a bit. We'll see. But yeah, it's always an exciting thing with the season finale, obviously. And yeah, I'm really intrigued to see exactly what they have in store, how on earth they're going to wrap up, you know, what a deep kind of season and a dark season this has been. So yeah, really excited, very nervous, because I don't know what to really anticipate with the whole Willow situation. I'm hoping, since they've already cruelly killed off such a big character already in this like final bit of the season, they won't have to kill Willow too, but I don't know. We'll have to wait and see. Will I cry? Probably, we'll see. But yeah, very excited to see how season 6 is going to end, so let's get into it.
Stay down.
Oh.
Why'd you do that? Butting in on things that don't concern you?
You concern me, Willow. Stay on this path and you'll wind up dead.
You call me a rank, arrogant amateur.
Well, you are kind of arrogant.
Oh, leave her out.
Oh.
You cut your hair. I'm very sorry about Tara.
This won't hold me forever.
I'd rather it did.
I've been sleeping with Spike.
Oh.
Sorry.
Why is it so alien to see someone laugh on this goddamn show? Still going.
I should never have left. No.
You were right to leave. Or just stupid.
I know you're all stupid.
I don't understand why I'm back.
You got renewed for another season.
There's no guarantee she'll be as she was.
Oh God.
Killed a human being. How will she be able to live with herself?
I wouldn't worry about that.
Oh no.
Shame on you.
Not the mannequin. Oh, damn.
You know, if Spike were here, he'd go back and fight.
Sure, if he wasn't too busy trying to rape your sister.
What?
Oh.
I don't believe you.
Fine.
Shit, he went there.
Is this blind spot like a genetic trait with the Summers women? The only useful thing Spike ever did was finally leave town.
I feel like you should have left that to Buffy to tell her.
I'll take anything you can throw at me. If it'll
Steak.
get more than I need to take care of the Slayer.
Ow. Oh. Jeez.
You can barely stand.
Your powers.
He's standing in the way.
If you lose someone you love, the other people in your life who care about you become meaningless. I wonder what Tara would say about that.
You can ask her yourself.
Oh shit. Oh no. All those books. All those pages that just got creased.
You're always saving everyone. It's kind of pesky.
Giles kind of went through that thing with Jenny when she died.
Fly, my pretty fly. See what I did there?
Go.
She's really mean.
That's why you ran away.
Picasso.
That's why
Oh.
That was rude. What I need is a little pick-me-up.
Oh shit! Her costume just turns all into like tweed. Glasses appear on her. Oh.
Emotion. No, it's too much.
Is that Giles' plan?
It's just too much.
To get her to do that?
Your suffering has to end.
Oh. Ah. Oh, ah. Oh shit.
Mexico, huh?
Okay, don't help. Way to go back on the development last time. Excellent.
Willa. I can see her. She took the magic I had.
It's ironic because she made him blind once.
I'm dying.
No, you're not.
Better fucking not be.
She's gonna finish it.
Finish what?
The work.
I was afraid he was going to say that.
But it was good enough for you to take me there after what he did to you?
What he
Tried to do, whatever.
No.
You cannot protect me from that.
Hello?
Oh, good.
Buffy, you okay? Where's Dawn?
I like how this season's kind of been about Buffy and Dawn both kind of growing up.
Where's Giles? Giles? He's still at the magic shop. Giles is back? You didn't tell me that. Did he stop Willow?
You've been busy.
Then things just got
Giant ball of fucking fire. Not sold on the decoration. Particularly not that. It's not great.
don't think he has a lot of time left. I'm sorry.
Fuck that shit. You're not bringing him back and killing him.
I'm the only one that can save him. By killing us. It's the only way to stop the pain.
Calm down, Thanos.
Take
Oh, I knew everything was going to come to life. Can't keep her away from this life anymore.
I got your back.
She's instantly killed.
Thanks a lot for coming. It was good of you to teleport all this way.
Aww.
In retrospect, it probably would have been better if you hadn't come and given Willow all that magic that made her like 10 times more powerful. That would have been a plus.
Well. Go on, Xander.
Hey, black-eyed girl.
Yes! Ooh. Nice.
Still want to hang. You're Willow.
Don't call me that.
The first day of kindergarten, you cried because you broke the yellow crayon. And you're too afraid to tell anyone.
Oh.
I love crayon breaky Willow, and I love scary veiny Willow. So if I'm going out, it's here. I'll still love you.
Shut up.
Oh shit. Xander's me right now.
Love you.
Shut up!
She doesn't believe anyone could, because Tara's gone. Oh, it's the hair. There she is.
You're not dead!
No. However, I am still in some pain.
Xander.
Yes. It was he who got to her in time. He saved us all.
Not bad.
I'm sorry.
Buffy, I just stopped. Whew.
It's okay, Buffy. Things have really sucked lately. That's all gonna change. And I'm gonna be there when it does. I wanna see my friends happy again. I wanna see you grow up. The woman you're gonna become. Because she's gonna be beautiful. There's so much that I want to show you.
Whew. Well, that's fine. My eyes were getting dry, so it's good. Oh, crawling out of a grave. Now this is something he couldn't have done without fucking 6 years of that friendship. Oh, this show. And Giles isn't dead, so that's a win. You two have disappointed me yet again. Your character arc led to them running away. Oh, good.
Make me what I was, so Buffy can get what she deserves.
Very well. We will return your soul.
Oh. Okay. Really, really great finale. Very, very emotional. Shockingly. Man. I can't believe we're done with season 6. It just, it's like a blink of an eye. We have 1 season left. That's it. 22 episodes left of Buffy. I know there's like the comics and stuff afterwards, but it's not quite the same, is it? So, I thought that was a really, really great end to a really great season. I loved the real focus on character and relationships. That's the thing I always love TV shows for. You know, the fact that you can have stories like this after you build them up for so long. And, you know, Evil Willow, like, well, Dark Willow, I should say. People got annoyed at me calling her Evil Willow. Dark Willow, you know, if she'd like been season 1 or 2 or something, you know, it still would have been cool, I think, and exciting. But when you've had 6 seasons of knowing her and seeing how she's grown and changed and seeing kind of addictive aspects of her personality leading up to now and her abuse of magic and everything, that just makes it all the sweeter, because it's kind of felt like a tragedy how inevitable it almost was, that decline, even more so when Tara was killed. I was hoping, I know it's like ridiculous why it would work, but you know, it kind of like saved Giles' life when Willow was talked down, he got like his essence kind of returned to him and stuff. It would have been cool if like there was like an extra bit and they brought Tara back. I know it wouldn't have made any sense, but I'd have accepted it. But still, that would have been great, but never mind. Probably would have undermined the whole story then, I suppose, bringing Tara back. But, oh boy, I love them focusing on the Buffy and Giles connection, the Buffy and Dawn connection, the Xander and Willow connection. Buffy and Willow, it's just, it felt like a real celebration and a light at the end of the tunnel, really. This season 6 has been a tunnel. This episode was the light at the end of it, because things are looking up, things are going to be okay, there is light in our lives after all. And even with Spike, he got a bit of light shoved into him because he got his soul back, which is kind of nuts. So that's going to be quite the Spike to kind of digest next season then. If he has his soul, like he's going to feel what he tried to do to Buffy, he's going to feel everything. It's going to be like, yeah, it's going to be like when Angelus became Angel, you know. I don't even know what to expect from Spike with the soul. Kind of excited though. I mean, I know we kind of saw him as William, but you know, Liam pre-Angelus and then Angel post-Angelus, you know, they're not the same people. So it's not like, oh, he'll just be, you know, if Angel got his soul back, it's not just like, oh, he's Liam again, because he's grown and changed, he's a different person, he's informed from all the memories he had. So it's not like, oh, we're just going to get William the poet, now he's got his soul. It's going to be kind of a blend, I guess. So, interesting. I suppose when you've taken Spike to that place where he tried to rape Buffy, I think the only thing you could desperately try and do to kind of redeem that kind of act is give him a soul so he can truly feel it and try and repent. But, you know, it's going to be up to Buffy whether or not he can really repent for those sins. And even then, you know, I don't think anyone feels like they should forgive Spike. But, I don't know. It's a funny thing, I guess, with the soul, because I see Angel and Angelus as two different people, so maybe I need to see Spike and whoever the fuck he is now as two different people. But that's obviously going to depend on getting to know this Spike, because right now I have no fucking idea who that Spike is at the end, because we haven't gotten to know him. We don't know what this Spike with the soul is going to be like now he has, you know, having been a soulless vampire before, and now he's getting his soul back. We've never met this man before. This is a complete stranger, so I can't really be like, you know, is he going to be, you know, remarkably different? Is he going to be kind of the similar kind of character, but now more well-informed in, like, emotions and stuff? You know, feeling the evil that he's committed? You don't know. So I feel like I can separate Angel and Angelus because I've gotten to know Angel. And we knew Angel before we'd seen him as Angelus. So I'm going to need to get to know who the hell Spike is now before I can kind of really comment on that, I guess. But that's crazy that he has his soul back. I'm actually excited for a Spike story, which I didn't think I would be after seeing Red. So that's good. That's something. Again, the light at the end of the tunnel, because my goodness. That was a rough ride for Spike these past couple of episodes. I've really not enjoyed watching him. But they kept his appearances minimal in the last couple of episodes, and I guess maybe they did that on purpose, because you don't want to stomach a lot of Spike after the events of seeing Red. But yeah, he's got a soul, so we'll see where they go with that. And that's something I'm really excited for, actually, to see this new, hopefully improved Spike feeling what he's done. So yeah, it was kind of a bit shady of them to be like, oh, I'm going to give Buffy what she deserves, blah, 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 blah. You know, make me what I was so she can get what she deserves. He wouldn't have spoken like that in private with that demon guy, I don't think. That was just obviously for the audience to still think, I'm going to become, you know, I'm going to get this chip out and become properly evil again. So I think that was a bit cheeky in terms of writing, doing that, but I guess it can make sense. But yeah, I'm excited to see what they do with the whole Spike thing. Him getting his soul back is very, very interesting. Not something I thought we'd see. I mean, that could be... I'd love to see him and Angel interact now. I'd love to see how Angel coped with, like, Spike with his soul. I hope we get, like, a crossover or something next season where that can happen. So that'd be really fun. Or even like a flashback episode, kind of like they did with Fall for Love and Darla. It was kind of 2 episodes back to back as flashback. It'd be cool to kind of get a crossover like that now. Obviously not with Darla, because... but it could bring Drusilla back into it. I think that'd be fun. I'd love to see how Drusilla like sees this Spike. That would be amazing. I'd love to see that. But yeah, very excited for Spike's story, which I didn't think I'd ever say again. So that's good. Enjoyed all those aspects. I loved the theming of, like, love and friendship, and that kind of carries you through. And well, they was consumed with these dark magics and everything, and she'd lost Tara, and obviously that was the love that mattered the most to her. And she just got it back, and it was ripped away. And with all these dark magics, it lost her ability to really feel and understand, kind of like losing her soul, I guess. So in a way, I think we saw Willow and Spike both get their souls back in this episode, which I think is kind of interesting. Because Willow had kind of forgotten, I think, in all this magic and stuff, that there is still valid love in her life, even if it's not, you know, romantic love that she would get from Tara, but there are still loads of people in her life who love her, and when you're recovering and moving forward, finding something to live for, I think that's enough, and that's why it brought her back. And the fact that Xander was the one who kind of brought her back, I really love their friendship. You know, whenever we get a Xander and Willow scene, I'm always kind of saying, oh, I wish we got more of that. You know, it's been ages since we've gotten that. And, well, we've been well fed with this one. I love that Xander was the one to kind of be like, I loved the Willow who cried over the yellow crayon or whatever it was. And I love evil, dark, veiny Willow, which is a mood. It's a mood. It's me. So I completely understood that, and I think that's what got me so emotional about it, because that's kind of how I felt about Willow. And no matter how much she was hurting him physically and everything, I do think it's interesting that when she dealt with everyone else, you know, she got into what really hurts them on the inside, you know, saying, Dawn, oh, you don't belong here, Dawn. You know, all you do is whine. No one's going to miss you if you just went back to what you were. And Buffy was like, oh, you were happier when you were dead. With Giles, like, oh, you know, you're not relevant anymore. And yet, with Xander, she tried to hurt him physically. So I think she kind of sensed that he was getting through to her. So if she kind of gave into that emotion and tried to pick at his emotions, he could easily use that as a weapon to bring her back from the brink. So her last-ditch effort was to just physically hurt him, keep him away. But because of Giles's plan, and she'd absorbed that magic and everything, she kind of got that spark of emotion back, and Xander could kind of bring her back from that. You know, I mean, Xander was kind of a big part of Willow's life and always has been. You know, she was in love with him for a time, you know, and they've grown and changed since then and become such a long-lasting friendship. Because they've been friends for so long now, and I love that he was the one to kind of guide her home, guide her back into the light. I love that whole sequence with Xander. Just, no matter how much he was hurting, he was so willing to say, I love you. And it made me think, actually, him walking down the aisle, as he was like walking up to her and approaching her, and everything, all these obstacles in his way, he got to this woman that he loves, his best friend that he loves, and he finally walked down the aisle to the woman he loves. And obviously it's a different kind of love with Willow than it is with Anya, but I think that kind of shows that Xander's grown and learned and changed from the events of Hell's Bells. And I just think that was such a beautiful scene, so lovely. Just the moment where she just completely breaks down. Alison Hannigan could just make me cry. When she cries, I cry, basically. Same as her, Michelle Gellar. That moment, and then her hair changes back to the normal colour. It's just, really love that. I love that it was Giles's plan. I kind of figured it was. He wanted her to take him, and if he gave his life for the slightest chance that it would help Willow get back to normal and help her find herself again, he still took that chance. He was willing to sacrifice his life for her, which is wholesome as fuck, brave as fuck. I love Giles. Glad he was back. Hope he sticks around. We'll see. I don't know. He's like, oh, I was wrong to have left you, but Buffy was like, you were right, so I feel like he's not going to stick around, which sucks. But as long as we see more of him, surely we'll see him again, final season. But yeah, I loved having Giles back in the mix, him being a bit of a badass by himself with the magic for a bit, him and Buffy laughing about everything that's happened. It was kind of nice to just see them have a bit of a laugh. I thought that was really, really nice as well. And yeah, how far he's willing to go to save the people that he cares about was just so great. And it was great to see those two kind of interact again, and I hope we get a lot more of that in the future for our final season. It's such a special kind of bond that those two have, and I like that Giles just burst into laughter at that moment when he heard everything that had gone down, because it's like, how ridiculous are our lives. They caught up in everything. I love that Giles was kind of open, saying I shouldn't have left, but Buffy needed to grow up, and I think she's kind of learned that she has, and alongside that, Dawn had a similar kind of thing where she needed to grow up, and I love the Buffy and Dawn stuff in this one as well. I think it should have been left to Buffy to be the one to tell Dawn what Spike did. I don't agree with Xander telling her there, but he often blabs his mouth about Buffy's love interests that he never likes at the wrong moment. That's just kind of part of his character. Not that it's an excuse, but it's in keeping with his character. I don't think it was out of character for him to do that. And you know, what Spike tried to do was abhorrent, so I think it still should have been up to Buffy to kind of say, look, this has happened to me with Spike. But it did allow us to get to this moment. I like that Dawn confronted her about it, didn't keep it to herself. Again, maybe the timing of some of Dawn's rants isn't ideal when they're stuck trying to get out of a pit. But I love what Dawn was trying to say, you know, that you've been trying to shield me from this world, but it just can't happen. Look around you, look at what's happening. Maybe it is safer if she is in the know and she's not this naive little girl, this naive blob of energy anymore. She's kind of grown and she's had that time to grow along with Buffy. You know, she had to grow without Buffy. Now that she's back, and they kind of had... It's hard to be, I think, a sibling and also a mother, and that's what Buffy kind of had to be to Dawn this season. And, you know, there are good moments and bad moments with that, highs and lows, but I love that both of the Summers girls had to kind of grow up and learn to grow up. And Dawn's kind of been low-key doing it in the background, I suppose, while I've been focusing on Buffy's journey with that. And I actually quite like that. And Buffy realising she wants to live for Dawn, she wants to live for her friends, to see them all be happy again. Because even if you do live in dark times and you feel like you can't cope with that, just the promise of that future, promise of tomorrow, and that it could get better. I love that Buffy's kind of reaching for that, crawling out of the grave at the end when it's all like nice and sunny out. Like a very nice kind of parallel to the start of the season when she had to dig herself out of her grave. She's in a much better place now. She wants to live for Dawn. She wants to show her the world. So I think there's going to be a lot more of an open relationship with the two sisters, which I love. That was awesome. So I loved everything with that. Dawn helping out with the fight, pretty badass. You know, he's like, oh, do you not think I've watched you? That was cool. So them defending themselves. That was all really, really good. So yeah, I love basically everything with like our core group of characters. And Anya was great. I love that she was trying to comfort Giles in his last moments and saying, oh, thanks for coming, even though blah 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 blah. That's a very Anya thing to kind of weigh up, and I really enjoyed that. And her last scene with Giles when he kind of told her that Xander would save the world, hopefully that can be maybe a way of them finding their way back to each other very slowly. And I love that she they made her a vengeance demon again, but she didn't get her revenge. She didn't get turned into a villain or anything for the past bit of the season. Unlike that Willow was the one that got turned into the villain. I like that they didn't go down that route with Anya. Just be like, oh, I'm evil again because of what Xander did to me. I hate you all again. I love that they didn't do that. And Anya's been fantastic in these last few episodes in particular. I've really enjoyed what they've kind of done with her. And yeah, her trying to comfort Giles and her being happy to see him again was really nice. Oh, I'm blonde now. Really, really good stuff. And I'm hoping Anya and Xander maybe can find their way back to each other next season. I think that'd be really nice. Because they've both grown and changed so much. So while the struggle and watching this season, it's been hard to stomach a lot of how dark they've gone and seeing all these characters make their mistakes. It's not so much that. I actually really like seeing characters that you love make those mistakes. Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. does it every fucking episode. We've literally had my favourite S.H.I.E.L.D. characters, we've had evil versions of them. We've had them go Dark Willow. It's been very informative about their characters, and to see it happen with Willow here, I really love this whole story. I love how it all played out. Really, really happy with that arc. Would have preferred it to the trio. I think they could have carried it for at least half a season, and we got basically half a season of Evil Angel, and he ended up getting his own show. You know, they brought him back and he got his own show. Obviously, they would have had to find different things to do with it. I don't think they could have been like her quest for revenge all season, like for a half a season. I don't think they could have done that and sustained it, but they would have thought of something else, I think. And they would have found some really cool ways of doing it, I think. Especially if Tara was still alive, I think that would have been a really interesting back and forth with her, you know. But there we have it. Something could have happened to her family. Like I said in the last episode, they could have explored like Willow and her family a bit if they did it for like half a season and stuff. Because I can never get enough of Angelus. Whenever Angel turns evil, I'm like, yes, I can never get enough of that, and I feel like it's the same with if Willow ever turned evil again. But I don't think they're going to do that, because they brought it to a really nice conclusion in this one. The power of love and the power of friendship, light at the end of the tunnel. I love that after such a dark and heavy season, they kind of had that theme for the finale, and it ended in a pretty happy note overall. And we'll see kind of the after effects. I can't wait to see what Willow's going to be like in season 7, dealing with what she did in these past few episodes and dealing with like killing Warren and everything. I think her story, you know, is far from over, her story of rehabilitation, so I'm looking forward to seeing a bit more of that. But yeah, after such a kind of dark and gloomy season, it's been hard to watch your characters make all these mistakes and risks. It was nice to see little elements and little hints at least that they have grown and changed from it. Particularly with like Xander walking down the aisle, Willow finding herself again, Anya not becoming a full-fledged evil vengeance demon hating everyone, Dawn learning to grow up, Buffy learning to grow up, Giles being like, oh, I shouldn't have left, Buffy kind of finding these reasons to live and happy tears. That was so nice to see. Really, really great stuff with all of them. And now, back to our semi-regular segment, Liam hates the trio. I get it. They're not the big bad. I get it. I do understand that. I don't think it excuses how they've been used for me, especially when they've been building up to this for the finale. Jonathan in the last episode was like, well, you're trying to save our lives. The least we can do is try and help. And the one moment they really needed him to help out, when they like, fell down a pit or got knocked unconscious or anything, even call an ambulance, Jonathan, you know? And like, Mexico, let's go, run away. So, for me, okay, just for me, it seemed a bit pointless. I feel like they should have just killed them all in episode 20. And they could have just had to go on a rampage. I think that would have been just as interesting for me. But yeah, not a fan, I guess, of the trio overall. I get what they did with Warren. I liked that aspect of it, because he was such a good, hateable villain. But just for as long as they were just around for too long for me. I don't mind what they've done with them story-wise. I just don't think it should have been for an entire season, because it just didn't work for me. It got old very quickly. I felt like they backtracked a lot with Jonathan's progress in the last episode. With this one, they just ran away just to have a throwaway joke in there. I think they just couldn't resist using them as a joke a lot of the time. That just didn't work for me personally, but that's just me. It's fine if, of course it's absolutely fine if you do that with the trio, and I know there are a lot of avid defenders of them in terms of how they're used, not, you know, their actions and their characters. I think, you know, you're not supposed to like them, you can appreciate them. But for me, I've appreciated how they've used other villains in the show more. Because maybe they're not the big bads. They're not the big bads, fine. Life is the big bad, whatever you want to think it is. They were still around as long as a big bad normally is this season, and that, I think, was where they kind of faltered for me. That's what I didn't quite gel with, I suppose. So I could have easily swapped it around and had Willow go dark for a lot of more of the season, and then have the trio be like a 3-episode arc with them. I think that would have worked more effectively for me personally, but I get that's not what everyone feels. But that's what reactions are for. It's fun to see different reactions to different people, you know? And people have different favourite characters, different favourite storylines, different favourite episodes. You know, I watch a lot of reactors myself, and be like really hyped for an episode of Doctor Who or something. I'm like, oh, this is my favourite episode of Doctor Who. And, you know, you watch an episode and they're like, you watched their reaction to it, and they're like, yeah, that was okay. Or they didn't like it, and you're like, oh. But you just kind of take it in your stride. You don't comment like, I can't believe you didn't like this one, you suck. You're just like, well, that's an interesting, different thought. I like hearing different opinions like that. And I think the trio is going to be that for me. Because it's not often that I haven't quite gelled with something in Buffy quite to this extent. It's something like one issue I have with an episode, or there's like one episode every now and again that I'm not a fan of. But this was probably the biggest deal that hasn't quite worked for me, but we'll talk a bit more about that in the review, obviously. But yeah, Cameron's about to die again, because I always go on for like 25 minutes in these afterthoughts now. That's just how it goes. That's season 6, baby. But, oh, that was season 6, baby, because we're done. And yeah, really, really great season. I really enjoyed it. Obviously, I'll talk about it a lot more in my review. But man, really, really great finale to a season I've really enjoyed. And I'm actually really looking forward to talking about this one. I think there's a lot to kind of talk about. I imagine that I won't I'll forget some stuff. I won't be able to talk about everything because we would be here for a very long time. But yeah, some really powerful moments that you could only do after getting to know these characters for 6 years. Emotional, some really funny moments in there. It's great to see Giles again. Spike with a soul fascinates me. Loved everything they did with Willow and Xander and Anya and Dawn and Buffy and Giles. And yeah, it was kind of nice to have a light at the end of the tunnel after a very kind of dark, dismal season, really. So yeah, that's that for season 6. 22 episodes left of the show. Final season next. I don't even know what to feel about that. It's going to be very emotional, I think, getting to the end. Not long now, a few more months, and that's Buffy. So exciting times, also very nerve-wracking, sad times. But yeah, amazing, amazing finale to a season I've really enjoyed. And I can't wait to discuss it even more with you guys in the review. It's going to be quite something, I would say. But yeah, I know it's a very divisive season, but we've gotten through it, and we'll see what happens, and let's just enjoy this journey for the final season, which I'll be starting very soon. Obviously, we'll be doing the reviews first. I need to check the Slayer Live Guide, because I can't remember if we start Angel or Buffy next. But still got a bit more to go. One last chapter of the journey, and I'm very, very excited. So yeah, amazing finale, amazing season, and until season 7, or the review, if you don't like reviews, then see you for season 7. If not, I'll see you for the review. But yeah, until then, thanks for watching.